Everyone, Stephanie here. So this is going to be a no-sew project. We're going to make our own appliques. I've had this idea to do this. I pulled out what I had in my stash. I had the rhinestone chain that I got from a long time ago, a while ago. And you can get most of the stuff you can order off of Amazon. So if you need rhinestone chain, I'm going to use some glossy accents or some lacquer. Either one of these you can get off of Amazon. Your sew-on gems. Now I got these at Joann's, this particular one here, and think I got these over here at Joann's. So you can sew these on, obviously, because there's what they're for. But I'm going to use the glue down method. Okay, I think that's just something I want to try. I don't want to hand sew anything, but if you want to sew them on, by all means do so. Okay. So you're going to need your gems, your chain. I have different colored chain here. This chain here is beautiful. Also got this at Joann's, this sort of gold, sort of iridescent chain. I got that. I got a silver one also. I got all this at Joann's. Okay, this is beautiful. Got that one. All right. And some of these other ones I already had in my stash. You're going to need some tweezers, a couple of pairs of scissors. I've been using some hypo cement. You can use hypo cement, for your chain. Okay, you're gonna need hypo cement or you can use your fabric glue. Either one, it's up to you. You can have some fray check handy, and that's to go around the edges of the piece here if you want. But I use the glossy accents, so if you don't have glossy accents, fray check will work as well. That's what I mean. If I can talk, it'll work out just fine. Now I did finish the first half of this video already, but something happened to it, so I'm kind of redoing it. So going forward, you will see kind of where I left off. All right, so you're going to need some interfacing for this. This is what I used for the backing of these pieces. You're going to need some interfacing. I just used this because, I had it in my stash. I've had it for a long time because I used to make bags. So I just used a piece of this because it's kind of stiff. So you're going to need like some stiff felt or a stiffer fabric to sort of glue your gems on. Now you can also do this on metal. Okay, you can do it on a piece of metal, same thing. I've done that on metal before, but I did it for a necklace. All right, so you could definitely do this on fabric or metal, but I just wanted to try it on fabric because I thought, it would look really cool. And you can glue these on. You say, well, what do you do with them? You can glue them on bags. You can glue them on shoes. You can glue them on your journals. You can glue them on clothing. You can make pins out of them. You can you can make earrings out of these if you want to. I've seen some gaudy, kind of gaudy earrings. What they did was they just put a post on the back, and glued the posts here, and then they have, two pair of gaudy earrings. You can do that. I initially wanted these to be earrings, but I thought, no, I'm never going to wear those. So, because they're a little too gaudy. Now, I live for gaudy, but that's over the top for me. So I'm just going to use them for projects, for my journals. And I have some bags and things I'm going to be making and things like that. So I'm going to be using it for various art and crafty projects. That's what I'm going to use mine for. I just wanted to pull these out and give you some inspiration as to what you can use, some things you may already have in your stash. A lot of us have these sew-on gems. That's what they look like on the side. Got the 2 holes in them. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Got the 2 holes in them, so you can use those to sew on, but I'm gluing them on. And then you have your pin backs. This is a 1.5 inch pin back. So if you wanted to, you can just glue this, on the back of your applique, and you have yourself a beautiful pin. That's gorgeous. That'll be really, really nice. So yeah, you can make them into pins. You can pin them on your purse, your bag, all of that, right? I'm going to show you how I used everything, and then we'll make us some beautiful. I'll show you how I made these beautiful appliques. All right. Okay, so what you're going to see after this clip is where I left off in the previous video. Like I said, I re-recorded this part of the video, the intro, and I might go over some other things as well. So yeah, technology, right? But I still show you how I made everything, and we go over everything, and it turns out great. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to the next clip, and I'll show you what I did. Now, this is rhinestone chain. I've had this for quite a long time, and it's a lot on here. I believe a company sent this to me. I'm sure, I don't remember, y'all, but I've had it for quite a long time, and I use it periodically. You use either one of those. So I have those. This is interfacing, okay? It's interfacing. It's what you put in, what people use when they make bags, right? They, put this inside of the bag to give the bag structure. I've had some of this for a long time. because I used to sew like makeup bags. I still have a few left. So I've had interfacing, you know, in my stash for a long time, and I have different types of interfacing. This is the stiffest one that I have. So like, see how stiff that is? You can kind it's kind of thick. You can actually get this at like Joann's or whatever for like $5. Then get a yard of it for like $5 or $6. And you can use a coupon, of course. So I had a bunch of it left over. And I usually use some of this when I'm making my journals to give it a little, to give it a little structure. So you're going to need some sort of a fabric that is a little stiffer. This is the black interfacing, and it's not as thick. So I would probably have to double up on it, to give it a little bit more structure. So I'm going to try it at some point. So we're going to go with the white. They have, I guess, I don't know if they have other colors. They might, y'all. You can search. Joann's might have it in other colors. I felt like the white worked better, and it's what I had. I didn't really have to buy anything extra. I kind of had it already in my stash. Most of the stuff I already had in my stash. I had the gems, the sew-on gems in my stash, with the exception of the ones I bought, the extra 2 I bought, and I used coupons on those. I had this in my stash forever. I've had these in my stash, and I've had my glue in my stash. So I really just spent money on that. I'll even have the pin backs in my stash too. I've had those forever. So look around in your stash, so that way you can, you might not have to buy anything extra, to make these if you want to. Now, this is what I did. So I'm going to try to make a pink one. I literally just sat here and figured out how I wanted to do my layout. Now, like I said, I don't have a whole lot to work with here. So I'm just using what I have. All right. So I had kind of an idea. So I had this. I had that like that. Okay. And I had these two. Wait, let's put another one over here. Oh, I had one right there. That one. And then this one like this. So however many you have, you can do your layout however you want. Layout, that's the kind of layout I'm going to do for this one. So similar layout. I mean, you can lay them out however you want. I just decided to do this like this. You can watch this in full screen if you want to see up close. All right. So I just kind of did it like this. And of course, I took a picture of it beforehand. So when I just, if something moves, I know where everything went. All right. Or you can just kind of go off your own blueprint here. So let's see. Did I do it like this? I did. Okay. So let's do it like this. However you want. When you have limited pieces, you have to be a little bit, kind of inventive in what you do. All right. Now that's the layout I'm going to go with because it's simple. It's easy. I don't have to think about it. But you can get as intricate as you want with this. You really can. I mean, the sky's the limit, really. The gaudier, I think the gaudier the better personally. That's just what I think. But, yeah, that's just my style. Not everybody likes that. So what I'm going to do is open this glue. All right. Did we see that? You see the glue? Okay. See the glue. So I'm just going to push it up a little further to the top of here so it'll be easier for me to cut. So you put your pieces on your interface and you glue the pieces on your interfacing or your fabric or whatever it is you want to, back it with. So I'm just putting the glue on the back. Okay. Now you have time to maneuver these however you want them. Kind of want it like that. We're going to glue this piece next. Okay. I think that's it. All right, let's leave our glue aside. Now we can move them around with tweezers. Take your tweezers and just, kind of fix it the way you want. And give it a few minutes to let it dry. All right, I'm going to hold this up in a second. I kind of want it to look like that, and it kind of does. All right, let me see. Hold on. Let's push this down. Just a little. Oh, God, y'all. Messing it up. Messing it up here. Like this one was just a little. Okay, there we go. We don't just do it like that. I think that looks good. Wait. Here, move that up. There we go. There we go. I want them to be close together. I do. There we go. Like that. Okay. Now let's see that. See? That looks really good. It looks really good. Okay. Just make sure everything is straightened out. Now I would give this a few minutes to dry. You can get this on Amazon. I had some in my shop, but I think I sold out or I might just have one left. I love this precision tip. It works on so many things. It's great. Been using it for years. So let your glue dry just for a few minutes. Now, while that's drying, you can actually be setting up your other piece too. So I'm going to do a couple of pieces here. So let's just sort of see what sort of design we can come up with. I was kind of playing with this yesterday too. So while that one is drying, we'll try to make another one. Here, I'm going to make a couple of them for you. Let's see. I don't know if I like that design. I don't have that many, so let's see. Can we do something like that? Oh, that's kind of pretty. But I kind of like the this facing out like that. Although, here, y'all, I can just do this. There we go. We'll just make all pink. And then, because we're going to add, and this is silver. So we're going to add some of these, the silver ones to this. Okay. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cute. These are not very expensive. So, you just want to make sure, don't squeeze too hard because you will crack your bead. This is what I had. So, yeah. That's kind of what I had, but I kind of like that. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it doesn't matter, I guess, as long as it looks cute. Because I'm going to just put it on other things anyway. Let me see. Make sure it's in. They are tricky to kind of. Let's see. I kind of like that. Yes, I do. I got to move that out a little bit more. Oh, yeah, I like that a lot. Okay. So we're going to pretty much do the same thing with this. Because this backing is what helps make it stiff. Okay. The backing is kind of what helps make it stiff. Now, I have an additional piece on here. This is like a faux leather piece. But you can put another piece of fabric on the back or whatever. Or you could just leave as is because you're going to glue it on something anyway. So I just wanted a stiffer back. I want it a little flexible too. I didn't want it to be, you can always do this on metal as well. This is just on the interfacing and the fabric, but you can put these on metal too. And do pretty much the same thing on metal. But I wanted a little bit more flexibility when it came to these. Because I'm going to be gluing them on bags and all kinds of goodies, journals and all kinds of stuff, Let's do that. I'm going to have to adjust these. All right, so I will put glue in that hole there, just keep the stone in there. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's adjust. Make sure it's good to go. Make sure they're close together. You can always add a little bit more glue in between too. Okay. Make sure you don't fall apart. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, let's look at this one. Oh, it's a little too far apart here for me. All right, let's press it down. All right, let's look at it. Really cute. I'm gonna push it together just a little bit more. I don't want any spaces there at all. All right, so that's what it looks like. Really pretty. All right. Yeah, because it's gonna have a little space in there, but that's fine. So then that one's drying. So I'm gonna let these dry. All right. Now the next step, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna add our chain here. Okay. So we're just gonna glue our chain around here like that. I'll show you how to do that. Easy. We'll cut it down and then this should be ready for you to, glue on stuff, right? Like I thought like this would be kind of cute, like to make one for a cuff, to put on a cuff, make a cuff bracelet. You can do that. You can sew it on a bag. You can glue it on a bag. You can glue it on a journal, like I said. I know there's so many possibilities when you're making these that you can use these for so many things. You can gift some. These are beautiful, I think. So I'm going to have plenty of these in my stash when I'm done. I'd like to utilize all of these beads, these colors, and make different ones for different projects, So I'll have a nice assortment to use. Like these colors. Some of the lighter colors are okay too, but I don't really have anything to go with them. Like the light green, I don't have anything to go with that. So I might have to mix it with something else, like the clear. So I have these clear ones. And I have these in different sizes, so I may use those too. All right. But for right now, we'll just do these two in the video. And then you can stay tuned to my Instagram at Stephanie Garrett Creative. The link is down in the description to see all the other ones that I made, because I'll post them over there. And you can also join our Facebook group. I'll post those over there as well. I'll post most of them in the Facebook group, though. So if you want to check it out, come and join the Facebook group, SG Creative Studio. Then all the links you need are down in the description. So the pieces have dried, and I did start 2 other pieces here. Okay, this one's dried. So it looks like, wait, yeah, that's what it looks like. And I did a pink one, and then I did this sort of amber color because I had some extra stones. So I just did this one. So this one is still a tiny bit wet. This one is dry, and so is that one. Okay. So now I'm going to take, because this is silver on it, and the other one has the gold, I'm going to use the silver rhinestone chain for that. All right. So I did get this at Joann's. It was not on sale. Well, was it on sale? No, actually it wasn't. I had to think about it. I did use a coupon on it though. So you can definitely get them at, any of the craft stores. Most of the craft stores sells this type of chain. Okay, trying to take this apart. Okay, so that's just what the chain looks like. Most craft stores sell this, and it usually comes with like little like hooks on it, so you can connect it to other, pieces or whatever. You can make a whole necklace. I've done this. I've attached chain like this with bracelets and other things, necklaces and stuff like that. So I really love this, and I just ordered some more too. So, and you can also find this type of chain on Amazon as well. The rhinestone chain. Now, let's see. This might be a little tricky. Let's see if we can do this. I might have to cut it. Maybe. Let's see. So what you do is you just take your chain, and you just kind of put it around whatever design you have. Now, you're going to have to cut this. Okay. Well, you know what? Let me see here. Let's try let's try like this. Let's start with this one piece here. Let's see if this will work. Hang on. So you just go around your piece kind of like that. You got to kind of lay it out first to look at it and to see how much you'll need, so where you can cut it off at. Okay. I love that. It's a little tricky. This chain is a tiny bit tricky to do like this, but it can be done clearly. Oh, I love that already. Oh, wow. That's so beautiful. Wow. Wait a minute. Let's see. So, yeah, I might have to you might have to cut it in pieces. Because for this one, I had to do that. I had to cut it in pieces, to attach it around just to get the right amount. So that's a possibility. Cut it in different pieces and just kind of line it up, which probably work. But I'm just going to go all the way around to see how many pieces I need. Okay. And then you can always add the extra pieces. So I think I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it right here. And what I do is I just kind of cut it at the base. Cut it at the base of the bead here. All right. So we'll save this little piece, this other piece, and then we have this. So that's what we're going to attach around our gemstones here. And I'm just going to start on this side because I think it would be easier. I'm going to turn this around so I can see it. All right. You can watch this in full screen again if you want to see sort of up close what I'm doing here. And I'm just putting glue on the back of it. And what I'm doing here, I'm going to put glue like even in between on the actual chain itself, because I think it holds better when you do that. Now you're going to have to go all the way down and do that. But because this is a fine tip glue, it's a little easier to do that. Now, if you're doing something messy like, the Fabric Tact or the E6000, that's going to be kind of a mess, just so you know. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little glue around here too, just so it can hold, You can probably even put a little E6000. I mean, it dries clear, so yeah. Let's see. Let's put just a little glue around here. All right. So let's start with that. So we're going to put that there. Get your tweezers. I'm going to help you maneuver. Stick it there. Okay. Turn around. And you probably will have to cut it. And that's okay if you cut it, because you can still, it's just maybe easier to, you know, to put on like that. Let me see. I think I'm going to cut it there. All right. Keep that little piece there. Now, if you create a design that is easy, to go around with your chain, that will probably be better, but I'd kind of just use what I had. So this is just the design that I came up with. Okay, you just take your tweezers and kind of adjust. Okay, just adjust. And then you take your other little small amount and you do the same thing all the way around. Okay, so let's see how this looks up close. You can see it. It's pretty, so pretty. Wow, so pretty. This is easy yet not. Easy yet not. Let's see. I'm going to just measure here. I'm going to do that. Cut it like right there. So I'm going to probably do that all the way around. I think it just makes this particular piece easier. All right. With this one, I didn't do that. I just kind of placed it all the way around, So, yeah. But with this one, I have to do it a little bit different. Okay. Oh, here. And I'm going to put some glue here. And I'm going to put it down here on this thing here. So make sure it sticks, kind of up against the gem too, just so it could stick. And put it down here as well. Okay. And then turn it around so you can adjust it. I'm kind of using my non-dominant hand here. So you do that. Wait, make sure it's turned the way you want it. And do it like that. Okay. Here, let's move it with the tweezers here. Okay, you space them out how you want them. And I kind of like my gemstones a little close together. Okay, and you can do like 2 rows of these, 2 or 3 rows if you want. It looks really great. I think for the purpose of the video, I might just do 1. So, and then you just continue all the way around. So it looks great. All right, let me continue around, then I'll show you the finished piece. This piece is a little bit bigger than the other pieces that I did. So once I put the backing on them, it's going to be a little bit bigger than this. See the size in it? It's just a slightly bigger. Okay. So I'm going to take these 2 little pieces here. I'm going to cut this extra little tail off. You can always cut that off if you don't, you don't want that. So I'll just take the glue and put it on the back. And you just fill in where you think it's necessary. Really, that's all it is. If you see a hole, you could just fill in where you think it's necessary. Okay, and all the glue dries clear. So you take your tweezers and then you just kind of shove it in there and align it up. All right, and it looks beautiful. Make sure nothing's moving on you. Everything, and it's already starting to dry, so that's great. I love that. Oh my God, just make sure your beads are spaced kind of the way you want them. Okay. I think that looks great. Let me see if this is enough. Because what you can also do is just count how many you have here, say like 6 rhinestones, and just cut off a little small piece with 6 on there. That way you don't need the whole chain. So that's another little easier way to do it. But we may need 7 pieces. We don't know yet. All right. It's beautiful, right? Isn't it beautiful? I mean, I guess you could probably even put something down there if you want it. I don't know. I find it hard to get those down there and those little holes, but I guess if you wanted to, you could stick something in there or just make room for an extra, rhinestone in there in the middle. So, all right. So there's that one. Now, I want to try this gold on this one. I'm just going to string it and I'll show it to you when I'm done because I'm pretty much going to do the same thing with this one and these 2 as I did with this one. So I'm going to do that. And when I come back, this should be dry and then we'll cut them out. All right. We'll go from there. Okay. So I'm putting the finishing touches on this one. I just want to show you what I'm doing here. I did cut this in pieces actually. Although this one long piece I'm just going to wrap around. And what I also did was just put glue up against the side of the stones, of the bigger rhinestones, just so it'll stick. And I put glue on the back of this. Okay. And we kind of just maneuver them with the tweezers. And then let it dry. Make sure it looks how you want it to look, uniform. Because I really want it's going to look like that, but better. So, yeah. All right, it looks great. Make sure the stones are, all straightened out. Oh, hold on, hang on. Yeah, I love that. Okay. Oh, I love. Okay. Oh, yeah. I left a little bit more space on here, though. I put a little bit more space on this side, like this side here, and this side there. These two sides. I left just a little bit more space over there, and this is a little tight squeeze here, but it looks great. So just be cognizant of how you space your gems when doing this, because once you start putting on your rhinestone chain, you may need these extra spaces in between to shove the chain in there, to sort of line it up. Let's see here. All right, so here is the pink and with the gold rhinestones around it. It's gorgeous. You can always add, like I said, a couple of layers. You can add 2 or 3 layers on this if you really want to. I mean, it's a lot, but if you're gonna put it in a bag or something like that, or your journal or whatever you're gonna put it on, or make a pen out of it, it's gonna look really, really good. Okay, so yeah, I love that gold. That gold has like almost an iridescent quality to it. I absolutely love it. It's just beautiful, and this one came out gorgeous too. So really, really pretty. I don't know. I'm thinking about adding maybe another layer. I don't know. Let's see how. I don't know. It might be a little much, but you can add as many layers as you want to. I think that it might be a little much, for what it is we want to do. So I think I'll just leave it. All right, so our pieces are drying. I'm going to do this one off camera because, it'll be a long video. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this one out. All right, so I cut it out. Now I still have to clean it up around the edges, but it's cut out. Okay, so that's going to be your base. And you just kind of clean it up with your scissors, if you want. I mean, or you can, leave it as is. It's up to you. I'm going to clean this up just a little bit. Good. Because I'm going to probably back it with some fabric here. Like I did these. I just backed it with some of the faux leather fabric. So you can always back it with anything else that you want to back it with, to make it a little stiffer. Or you can glue it right to your project, I would probably suggest just backing it with something. So let me see. Okay, now, so this piece really isn't dry. So I'm just going to try to do my best. I wanted to let it dry, but it hasn't dried, and I think I cut it too soon. But we'll make it work. So for this, I am going to actually use like a fabric glue. So I'm just going to glue it to the back of this. Okay, just put your fabric glue on the back of your applique, whatever fabric you choose. Okay, I'm going to put it all the way around. Okay, just to make sure it sticks, because it dries clear, it's fine. And I'm just going to put it right up here. And I did it inside out because I want the gold part facing out. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit for a few minutes. Okay. All right, so you're going to do just pretty much the same thing. You don't even have to cut that much. Just like a little patch, okay? So that's like a little patch. So you see that's going to be the backing of it, okay? Now, let's let that dry. We're going to put this away. So after it dries, it will look like this. Whatever fabric you put on it. Now, for the sides, you can actually paint the sides with paint. You can use an acrylic marker of the very same color and kind of blend it out. You could do that. Or you can use resin. If you have a little bit of resin, I've seen somebody put resin. They color the resin of, say, white or gold or whatever, and they just kind of painted it all the way around the edge of the piece. You can do that. But you can also use like glossy accents if you have that, or a crystal lacquer, or like I mentioned, you can use resin, mix your colorant with the resin as the similar color as your backing. or you can use paint. Either or. Any of those would work out great, you know. I'm going to try the glossy accents. I just kind of painted around. I did it with actually a metallic marker. I don't really like the way it came out, but, you know, once I glue it to something, it won't really matter. You know, this one came out a lot better. So it would look more flushed if you know, put something against it here. So, oh, and I did use when I glued it together, I forgot one step also. You don't have to do this, but this is what I did. After the fabrics, you know, dried, I did put some fray check. I use this quite a bit on the edges, just so the edges of the fabric won't fray, you know, because it is fabric. So I sort of went around it with that. I let that dry, and then I put on, you know, whatever else I was going to put on it, or, you know, your marker, your paint, your resin, whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'll do it on this one because I didn't do it on this one. I'm just going to put it like right against there. Okay, we're going to see how it should look okay because it's, you know, it dries clear. So yeah, you can have a nice little sort of flushed piece here. All right. I hope it works. All right, we'll see. I'm going to try it on this other pink one here. I may still have to color it with the metallic. You can use metallic paint or metallic markers, either way. But I wanted to use something very, you know, similar color. Like I said, metallic paint will work out great too. I think resin is probably the best one to use because it looks a little bit more, you know, I think it looks a little bit more together, I think. But I'm not going to be mixing resin today. So we just going to have to work with what we have. So I'm going to cut this out. I don't think it's quite dry yet, but for the purpose of the video, I'm going to go ahead and finish it. And then I'm going to have to let it dry because it's so beautiful. My God, it's so beautiful, y'all. That's so beautiful. What I'm going to do is just kind of fill in the sides here with the marker, you know, because it's the very same color. And then I'm going to put some of the glossy accents on it, or some of the fray check first. Let that dry. And then the glossy, you can probably just put the glossy accents on it. That might just be okay. I'm sure that probably will be. Maybe I'll try that on this one since I kind of messed it up anyway. But it's just kind of to give you a guide to show you what you can do, you know, or choose a color, you know, have your backing, you know, very similar colors. You can do that. I mean, it's up to you. You can use metal too. I've done this kind of with metal before, you know, but that was a lot more intricate because that was a necklace that I did. That video is up on my channel if you haven't seen that. So you just kind of want to make this blend. I really do think the resin is probably the best way to go, but again, I'm not pouring resin today. So we just got to make this work. All right. So I really wanted this to come out perfect, but I got scissor happy. I had to take a phone call in between takes. So anywho, still think it looks great though from the front. Because, you know, nobody's going to see the back unless you make it a pin or something. But I'm going to probably glue this on, you know, something. So it'll have something else behind it, so you won't really see that. But that's gorgeous. Look at that. That's so beautiful. And I also didn't let it dry. I think that's what happened. It didn't really, I start cutting on it and it didn't dry. So that's a tip for you. Please let it dry before you start cutting on it because it, you know, it'll fall apart or the fabric won't behave itself and all that. So make sure, see, they're moving on me, right? So just make sure that it's as dry as you can get it. And then you can start cutting on it because, you know, you kind of mess it up. These on there. You can come and join the Facebook group, SG Creative Studios, where sometimes I post early. I give people a sneak peek in the group of some of the videos that are coming out. Okay. So you be the first ones to see, you know, what I'm working on and what I'm sharing and all that within the group. And you're welcome to post all your stuff too. We want to check it out. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Again, let it dry. Don't be like me and not let it dry. I'm going to wait on this one. This is gorgeous. This is the other one we made. We finished these already. I finished those off camera. I finished this one. But you can make these in any style, any size. You can make them bigger, smaller, whatever, you know. So I think these are going to be gorgeous for what I need them for. All right, so stay tuned to the channel because you will be seeing me put these on different things, especially through the holidays. All right, so that's what it looks like. All right, so it's drying, and oh, this looks great. Look at that. That looks so smooth going all the way around. I should have did that at the beginning. So I might add some of the glossy accents to these too. It's drying beautifully, and that's how it looks. So I think I'm going to add some of this on these. Let's just do this before we go. All right. So yeah, we have made some beautiful appliques for our projects. All right. And when I use these in future videos, I will refer to this video so you could see, check it out. That's gorgeous. Wow. Okay. I didn't think to use this the first time because I kept thinking resin, 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 but I don't, we don't need resin. We can just use this. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Love. So let it dry upside down. Okay. And then let me do this one really quick. Okay. All right. That's so cool. All right. This adds a nice finish to your piece, I think. I was trying to figure out how to finish them, and it finally came to me. So this is it. The Glossy Accents by Ranger. You can find this pretty much everywhere. Lots of stores have that, or you can get it online, Amazon, or whatever. Okay. All right. So that concludes our video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it below, and I'll answer and get back to you. And give me a follow on my social media. I'm at Stephanie Gary Creative on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and at Stephanie Gary Designs over on Facebook and Instagram for my jewelry. And be sure to check out these two videos that I'm going to link right here.